Hey y'all, so it is time for me to make some shortbread cookies, and I have never considered myself a baker, but I do really well with these Pampered Chef mixes. So that is the shortbread cookie mix. We brought it out in the fall of 2024, and it was here for a short time, and they make a foolproof cookie, so that's my go-to. So anyways, we need 2 sticks of butter. I've got 4 quarters here, and that's all that's required is that package and 2 sticks of butter, which is equivalently a cup of butter. And you want to make sure that your butter is softened, okay? And mine is. Okay. And I've got our stand mixer out here, and it comes with 3 type of mixing attachments. I've got the mixer paddle here. Also, we have a whisk attachment. You know, it's great for like your whipped creams and your light frostings. Anything that you need to whip. And then of course we got the dough hook for like pizza doughs or heavier batters or things that do require, you know, a dough hook for kneading, okay? So according to this recipe here on the back, all I really need to do is just place the butter in the bowl of the mixture and then beat on medium speed until smooth for about a minute. Now, one of the great things about the mixer, the stand mixer, is that there's presets. So as I turn the dial between the presets, it'll tell me like what attachment to use. I'm going to leave it on custom. There's 8 speeds. Beat is really good for like, you know, just beating like your batters and stuff like that. But when I've done this recipe before, I like to use custom, and I like to turn it up to a 4 because that is medium speed for this mixer. And I'm just going to press start, and I'm going to let it go for about a minute, okay? Okay, my butter has been beaten for about a minute, so I'm just gonna pause it there. I can just hit the X to cancel it, all right? And then I just need to add this whole mix of shortbread cookie mix, and I'm just gonna add it in there, and then we're just gonna mix it on low speed. All right, so I've got my little bag clip and slicer here to easily open up my bag. There we go. Alrighty, and let me just dump this in here. You can't get any easier than this. That's what I love. Just mix and dump. Okay, and that's all it was. Alrighty. And then according to the back of the bag here, you just want to combine on low speed until the butter is well incorporated, so about a minute. So I'm just gonna drop this down. Now the presets on here are custom, cream, whip, beat, mix, and knead. All right, but I'm just doing everything on custom tonight. So I'm just gonna press that. I'm gonna leave it on a 1 because I just want to slowly incorporate and mix my dry ingredients with my butter, and then I'll show you what the next step is. Okay, so my dry mix and my butter has been combined. I'm just gonna hit the pause here. It took just a little over a minute, and you can see how nicely that has turned out to be the dough. It looks really good, okay? And the next step is I'm going to pull the dough out, put it on some plastic wrap, and then shape it into a disc. Okay, so I've got my plastic wrap down here. I've got my batter, my cookie dough batter all ready to go. I'm just gonna dump it right onto my plastic wrap. Let me change my thumb here so you guys can see what I'm doing, okay? And because this needs to chill for about an hour. And that's how easy it is to put that cookie mix together. And it's so delicious. All right, cookie mix done. We're gonna just pat it out into a nice little disc. Okay, wrap it up, put it in the fridge to rest for an hour, then I'll be back and I'll show you how we're gonna make our cookies. So our dough has chilled for at least an hour, and I have got my pastry mat set up ready to roll the dough out. But I did want to tell you that I've noticed this a couple of times that I've made this recipe. It is almost like a solid brick of dough, okay? So to roll this out right now is just not going to be happening. So be mindful that even though it needs an hour to chill, as soon as you get it out of the refrigerator, it's still pretty cold. And it needs to warm up just a smidge before you start rolling it out. So what I like to do in previous times is I've just kind of like broken it in half, and then I'm just working with a smaller bit of dough to start with. All right, so I have got our dough rolled out, and I'm doing it in sections, and I'm using our linzer cookie cutter set because I'm going to make sandwich cookies. And so what I've got, you got 3 different designs here. You've got the round with a scalloped edge, and of course it's got the heart in the middle. And then you've got the star with the star in the middle. And then you've got a round one with a hole in the middle. So let me see, let's do the scalloped ones first. So I'm just gonna, you always need, if you're gonna do sandwich cookies, you always need a top and a bottom. So you'll start out by doing 2. Okay, and I love that beautiful scalloped edge. I think that's so pretty. And then you'll do another one. Okay. And with this one, you're going to press the heart in it so that whenever you have your sandwich cookie, because I'm going to fill mine with strawberry jam, then you're going to have a top and a bottom, and it's going to be a really it's like a window cookie. So these are linzer cookies. Okay. So I'm going to do that with the rest of my dough for the stars and the circles. So always remember, you could just do individual cookies, but because I'm doing sandwich cookies, I need a bottom and I need a top, and I love the little windows that are built in. Okay, so I'll be right back. So check out our cookies. I'm putting them out on our stackable cooling rack, and I just used the Pampered Chef cookie sheet. They just slide right off. There's so much butter in these shortbread cookies. But this recipe doesn't require you to grease your pan or anything like that. So they're going to just take a couple minutes to cool, and then I'm going to show you how I'm going to assemble them. You'll probably notice that mine are a little on the darker side. The recipe says 10 to 12 minutes and 350 degrees. And then if you want, you know, until you see the edges brown, it says if you want like a little crunchier cookie, then cook a little bit longer. Well, I didn't set my timer, and I kind of walked away, and I thought I'll keep an eye on them. But anyways, I'm going to show you what I'm going to do to fix that. All right, so our cookies have finished baking, and I have started to assemble them, and I'm using some strawberry jam. You can use whatever jam you like for your filling, but just a little dab will do just fine. I overfilled some of my cookies, and I can see the jam kind of oozing out. But just a little bit in the middle is all you need. Just enough for the color to pop through of that little window. Okay. And then I always like to put, like, here's the front side of the cookie, but the back side ends up being a little bit crisper looking. So I always flip them over, and they end up having that perfect shape on the other side. Okay, and I have one more heart. And so, like I said, my cookies are a little on the well done side, but they still taste great because I tasted them. So here's my last little star. You can see it's just a little more crisp on this side. Alrighty, and there we go. And then I'm just going to sprinkle these with a little powdered sugar, and that will just give them a nice little festive look. And people won't be able to tell that I kind of made them a little on the dark side, right? But really, you're supposed to cook them till they're a light golden brown on the edges. But look how pretty these cookies turned out. So the linzer cookie cutter set and the shortbread cookie mix goes really, really well together. And what an easy cookie mix that is. Aren't those some really pretty cookies? And then to transport them, I'm going to use my rectangular cooling serve, the top and the bottom. So this is the bottom, this is the top, and it just makes a really great cookie carrier for where I'm going to go. All right, so that is our video for What's Cookin' Wednesday. Just comment on the video, and I will do a live giveaway when we are back from the Thanksgiving holiday. I hope all of you have an amazing Thanksgiving, and just know that you are loved and you are blessed, and enjoy spending time with your family and friends. All right, I'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye.